Good stuff. We'll get straight into it. It was the golf's TGL week 2 this week, and I'm really enjoying it. Second weekend, I managed to watch the whole hour and 40 minutes all the way through, and found it very enjoyable. I feel like the commentators are getting in their stride as well now, and are comfortable with the format to talk about it and have a little bit more depth and breadth to what they're talking about with it as well, as they understand the technology a little bit more. I don't think that the technology involved is something that these golfing commentators were necessarily too au fait with. So it's been a little bit of a learning curve for the commentators as well, as for the players, although the players are obviously more comfortable with like the Toptracer shot tracking and um, the what's it called? Virtual. Is it called virtual? What's it called, James? The you can call it the virtual environment.
Stadium environment, isn't it? I think the big thing that I picked up from watching the second week was, and I think they'll have to improve on this, the amount of times you saw a player hit a shot and not believe the tracer at all. So they're like, I've definitely not hooked that, or I've definitely not done that, and they look around as if like, but they can't clearly critique it.
No,
So they're going to have to work on the technology side, I imagine.
yeah, Tiger Woods. I think he hit a 56, 130 yards, and he said, "I don't hit that.
That's not,
I don't hit that far."
yeah.
And if there is any golfer in the world that you would believe that knows his distances, it's Tiger Woods.
Yeah, exactly. So I think as they go on, it will get better though. But I spoke about this last week, but the only full version I watched the YouTube version that the good guys did, and I was
Yeah.
just looking at their views before. They have the highest viewed TGL video on YouTube already. It's just short of 1 million views in 4 days.
They have, yeah, they've got the engagement of that audience. I wonder what the actual viewing figures are, from the televised version though.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. The YouTube
if
version.
they're exceeding that, I assume they are exceeding it. That they're probably getting a couple of mil views.
Yeah, in like the TV like records, I would imagine so. But their YouTube views were about 500-600K, I think, for the match recaps.
And that's not to be scoffed at.
It's not
Um,
awful. No.
Speaking from a 4,000, 4,500 view channel, 100 times that volume, I'd be very, very pleased with. But if I'd spent hundreds of millions, billions on my format, then I'd want a little bit more of it. But yeah, it's interesting. Like it's a, it feels a bit exhibitiony at the moment. So I don't know if the format and the style and the lack of competition in the actual formats is gonna make people lose interest. But at the moment, it feels like just an exhibition. It doesn't feel competitive. It doesn't feel like they're playing their best. They are. We've spoken about it before, right? They're kind of in a little bit of the limbo in the off season, although tournaments have started um, on both tours. We've now got tournaments started last weekend with some big names playing. It still feels quite off seasony.
Yeah, obviously the Amex was last weekend and the Dubai Classic finish. So I think they're going to get into more reps and it'll become more of a consistent every week something to watch.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how high the competition will ever be. I don't know if there's like a season-ending playoffs or some sort of format like that. But yeah, it's watchable. And yeah, I think the tech has to improve because if you see players sort of talking about it indirectly, saying this isn't really what happened, then it's tough for fans to go, "Oh yeah, this is really realistic."
Yeah, because the players know how it's come off the club face.
Yeah, I mean, from playing like simulators, they're not always perfect. Like, even like the Trackmans and stuff, they have to be really well dialed in to get accurate results. So I'm sure they'll get it right. Like the technology is there. It'll just take some time to iron out these like early teething issues.
Yeah, what's been interesting in the scoring, it was a bit of a steamroll in week 1. The Bay won, I think, 9-2, and then this week, Jupiter, Tiger Woods team, versus LA. LA won 12-1. So
Yeah,
it's a little, yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous the scoring it sounds, and I think part of that is the hammer, like using the hammer and getting those 2 additional points and accumulate a few of those, and you just run away with it and you can't be beaten. Is kind of how it's been going the first 2 weeks.
yeah. So I only really like sort of delved into the hammer from the YouTube guys video, so I didn't really know what was going on before. So obviously the hammer is, for the context, Femi, essentially before a hole starts, you can throw a hammer down and a team has to accept it, and that point for that hole is now worth double. There's other occasions where if you use it midway through a hole, so say you've teed off badly and I go, oh yeah, hammer's down, they can reject it, and you automatically get the point for the hole and you just move on. So there's like some sort of strategy behind it, but it does make some of the scores a bit out there, especially in like a alternate shot format with what they're doing. If you have a player playing badly, like it's really difficult to stay into a match. But yeah, I think the format. I'd like to see singles at some point. I think that could be quite interesting. Or like a scramble, so you can really mix it up.
Yeah, it's like them kicking it. It's them kicking off with like the alternate shot 3 balls that they've had, and they've kept that format. I guess they're going to play that format all the way through these opening rounds before they look at mixing it up. But I'm sure they'll be taking feedback and doing some different iterations of the format. But yeah, week 2 in the bag. Tiger Woods team, and it was Jupiter versus Jupiter, Florida versus Serena Williams's LA team. Serena Williams and her husband, Alexi something, Alexi Reddit. I know he was co-founder of Reddit. That's all I know about him. But he's Alexi something or other, American investor. So they co-own the team versus Tiger Woods' own team. So up next, Tuesday 21st, tomorrow night as we're recording, New York Golf Club back again, playing against Atlanta Drive. And then the following week, I'll be interested to watch Boston Common Golf, who I've chosen to support, up against Tiger Woods' team. And that'll be played on the Monday night. So
Is that
Monday
Rory
the
versus
27th.
Tiger?
Is
Rory Boston?
No, I don't think so, actually.
Yeah, it's Boston Common Golf.
Oh, he
It's
is
Rory
playing for
McIlroy,
Boston Common.
Keegan
Okay, yeah,
Bradley,
perfect.
Hideki, and Adam Scott. Uh,
Great, I've chosen the right team, I think.
yeah, so you've got three out of that team have the nicest golf swings on the planet: Rory, Adam
Oh, yeah.
Scott, and Hideki Matsuyama. So
Yeah,
at
the
least
only person missing, Tommy Fleetwood.
Tommy Fleetwood would be the perfect golf team. Yeah, that'd be good to watch.